All right, what is up, Utah fans? This is Joseph back with the Utah Utes Football Digest. And huge news, Utah just got a wide receiver named Joseph Joe Williams out of Tulsa. The kid put up a awesome stat line of 588 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 30 catches as a freshman. It is in G5, but the American is a good G5 conference. This is not like easy talent he's playing against. I'm excited to dive in and break it down. We're going to watch the film. We're going to break down the numbers. We're going to look at the PFF grades. It's going to be a ton of fun, guys. Before we do so, please smash that like button. That'll help get the video out to more Utah fans. Also, comment down below. What do you guys think of Joseph Williams? Is he an immediate playmaker? Will he maybe need some time? I want to know what you guys are thinking. I'm excited about him, though. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, we put out a ton of Utah Utes football content. So if that's your thing, stick around and enjoy the show. And let's go ahead and dive in and watch some film on Joseph Joe Williams. All right, guys. And we are about to watch the tape for Joseph Joe Williams. As always, anytime I show a highlight film from YouTube, there's a really good chance the video is going to get flagged and demonetized. So if you do appreciate it, please make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel because I'm taking a risk putting it up. But let's go ahead and watch. The tape is awesome. I'm sure you guys will be excited. Let's take a look. Boom, right there. So he's coming up. He's going to be right there. Catches the ball, gets open. You guys can see he plays big. He's 6'2", 195, but he plays big as well. He's not just a tall guy. All right. Oh, dude. So this is evident all throughout his tape, guys. This is a wild highlight. Look, that's got to be PI, right? This corner is all over him, top of your screen there, just pulling his arm down, and he pulls it in one-handed. I mean, what a freaking catch. Let's watch that one back one more time. This guy is very physical at the catch point, and this isn't the only time we're going to see it. Look at one more time, just because that is such an insane catch. Top of your screen, boom, one-hander while the defender's doing PI, in my opinion. And the highlights just keep getting better. Boom, just downfield shot, jumps up and grabs it. Look at this. This kid's highlights are freaking ridiculous. Jumps up and just snatches one out of the air. Look at the hops. Look at the fierce competitive nature. And then also one thing to point out, check out this play. Look at how much separation he has right there. Do you guys see that? He's pulling away for, nearly 2 yards of separation. A better quarterback, and he doesn't actually have to come back and fight for this ball, but he's so talented that he does. And look at that vertical, dude. This guy uses all of his freaking size. All right. Bottom of your screen. Boom, dude. He gets his arms fully extended against the press, man coverage, beats his guy. It looks like an end zone fades and they're damn 20 yards out. Look at the faith the quarterback has in this kid. Just launches it up, jump ball, boom, in full extension. I mean, this kid is a legit red zone threat and playmaker downfield. I mean, he plays like he's 6'5" and he's 6'2". And great hands. Look at this, guys. So great route. He's where he needs to be. The quarterback trusts him and pulls it in. Really nice there. And the highlight reel has a few more awesome plays. I'm excited to see him. Boom. Launches one upfield. Is that a back shoulder fade? I mean, nice throw if that's a back shoulder fade, but I actually feel like there's a good chance this was just an underthrown streak. He just turns around and catches it. Like, look at the zip the quarterback puts on it. It doesn't look like a back shoulder fade, even though it's kind of what it turns into, and he's able to make the play. Great work by Williams. All right. Boom. Bottom of your screen. Nasty good. Oh my goodness. Boom. Jumps up, catches the ball. Look at that high point, dude. Look at how he just keeps his arms up in the triangle, pulls off, and takes it in for a touchdown. What a freaking play, dude. All right. Quarterback launches one to him. Boom. I mean, very clearly, guys. In a minute, we're going to actually look at his stats and look at the PFF grades, but that's the highlight reel. And clearly, an extremely impressive guy at the catch point. He jumps up, super physical, catches the ball, pretty good at separation as well, and really tough. Like when he needs to make a contested catch, really tough when he has to. I like to see that. So that was Joseph Williams' highlight tape. And now let's go ahead and dive in and look at the numbers. All right, guys, and here are his PFF grades for this past season. Again, that was his freshman tape. That is FBS tape as a freshman. The future for this kid is super promising, and I can tell you initially, this is a big get for Utah. You see that draft eligible year, 2028. This kid has a long career ahead of him, and I'm excited that it's going to be at Utah. So you take a look here. So he didn't really start to get a ton of snaps until later in the year. And target wise, he doesn't really start to get targets. North Texas, he gets some, but he doesn't really start to get targets until the UAB game. And from that game on, before that, he had multiple games. He has four games with 2 or less targets, some with 0. And then you get to UAB, and from that point on in the season, he got at least 9 targets every game. So you can tell the coaching staff realized what they have and was peppering him with targets, right? And he is a jump ball guy, a go up physical and get it guy. So I'm going to go ahead and imagine a lot of those targets are downfield. And then we look at this, guys. This number stands out to me greatly. 19.6 yards per reception. 19.6 yards per reception. I've looked at a lot of receivers' PFF grades. This one stands out big time, guys. 19.6. That means when he catches the ball, it's an average of almost 20 yards per catch. And you guys, we go, will it show it here? Yeah. Yak per reception, it's not that high, right? Like there's one game here where it's 9.2, which is really high, but the other ones are usually 1.5, 1.3, 1. So most of his big plays are just him going up and getting the ball 20 yards a pop. 588 yards at the FBS level in the American Conference as a freshman. Damn, that is impressive. Really good stuff. And the other thing, guys, as you saw from the tape, 98.6% of his how many total snaps? 280 or 261 receiving snaps. 98.6% of those snaps were out wide at wideout, which means these aren't like little dink and dunk plays. He is going over the top and making plays on people. The tape suggests that. The numbers suggest it. It's very, very impressive. He graded out at a 75.9 grade. I believe that would be up there as one of the best grades any Utah receiver would have had over the past 5 years in my recollection. Very, very impressive. Really good stuff. Even if that grade goes down a little bit against tougher competition, what I like though is I don't feel that way. I don't feel like the grade's going to drop a ton. I mean, these were contested catches that were hard to pull in, and he went up there and got it done. And I don't think it was amazing separation on every one, but there were definitely plays where he had good to very good separation, and the quarterback underthrows him, and he has to go back and get it. And you got to imagine that's kind of what he's thinking as he runs his route is this quarterback can't throw this far. I'm going to have to come back and get it. And so once he has a quarterback that can just, I mean, imagine this guy, Devin Dampier, in our running back room is just grinding for tons of rushing yards and then just play action, shot plays downfield to Joseph Williams, one-on-one. This guy's going to come down with a lot of them. I'm super excited. One thing to point out is this number right here. So his target to reception, it's only 56.6%, 53 targets for 30 receptions. You'd like that to be a good amount higher. That honestly is pretty low. You'd like it to be, 65, 70%. But again, it seems like his talent was above the level of the guys throwing him the football. And so, a lot of his are just jump balls 50-50. But if you're catching 50-50 balls at 56.6%, that's still pretty good. So small critique there, but overall, very, very impressive numbers. You can see here the drop grades at 80.9, which is fantastic. Just looking at his drops, let's pull that up. One drop. Damn, guys, one drop. Only 3.2% of his targets were drops. That's really, really good stuff there. Really impressed with Joseph Williams. I'll give you guys my final take here in a second. Okay, guys, final thoughts on Joseph Williams. The tape was incredible. That film was really good. And like I mentioned, guys, he wasn't getting a ton of targets until late in the season when he kind of went off and started just killing it. Like you look at this game log here, guys. At the end of the season, he goes for 112 yards, 158 yards, 126 yards, 65 yards, and just kills it. And it's all on like 50-50 balls. Like, hey, go get it. And he is super physical. And that's him as a freshman. Imagine another year of growth and getting comfortable in your stature and learning to move with your body. I mean, just continually getting better. Again, it's G5, but it's good G5. The American's like a solid G5 conference. For me, it's one of the best. Like in my mind, it's American and Mountain West are the best two G5s you could be coming from, at least. And it's subjective, but to me those are the two. And I'm just being honest, I think this guy will be a starter on this team next year. I'd be shocked if he's not. That is really good tape. Sometimes you see highlight reels and there's some good to it, but there's a lot of like having to try to find the optimism. This was not the case. This was an a very dominant player. Like what you see in a highlight reel is the best of what when they're their best, what do they look like? And if we can get flashes of that throughout the season, I would imagine this guy's floor is going to look at like 500 to 700 yards. Like, and that's being very like floor safe type of deal. Where if he can really establish himself and we're giving him 8 targets a game, imagine this, guys. If he were to do what he did last season, right? And he's our jump ball guy, we just send him downfield. And let's imagine his 50-50 balls are actually 50-50. He catches 50% of them. At 8 targets a game, that would put him at 4 catches per game. So 4 catches per game, times it by 12. If he could still average 19.2 yards per catch or 19.6 yards per catch, that would put him at 940 receiving yards, right? And that probably put him in the 10 touchdown range, right? But let's imagine it's less than that. So he's 50-50 balls, 8 targets a game, which I don't think is crazy unrealistic. He goes, let's do it here. So 48 catches, and we multiply that by, let's imagine he goes down to 16 yards per catch. That would put him at 768 yards, one of the best receiving seasons we've seen from Utah, if not the best we've seen from Utah, a Utah wide receiver in a long time. So I'm super excited about Joseph Williams. I think the ceiling is elite. That's what we saw on film. The ceiling is elite. If he can translate that type of dominant catch point performances to the P4 level, it's going to be nuts. I'm excited, guys. Like the video before we get out of here. Also, comment down below. What do you guys think of him? What type of immediate and long-term impact does he have? Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We put out a ton of content, and I'm excited as we keep getting more transfers. And this, for me, is one of my favorite ones yet. Huge get, guys. Huge get. Be excited. I'm out of here. Go Utes.